Alrighty guys, welcome back to today's trade recap. So today I'm gonna explain how I cut the high of the day and following a 7 to 800 ticks trade around around 800 ticks, so 200 points trade right after that. And I cut everything in the Discord inside of my intraday commentary. I will not open the thing since there is private things I don't want to talk about. But as you can see, this section is public, and I said everything I wanted to see. I explained everything, and yeah. So let's dive into the chart directly. So going into open my pre-market analysis, I'm gonna open it. We had no cracking correlation at the half of the day, no real cracking correlation at the low of the day, but we had a pretty solid expansion from it, so I wasn't expecting the low of the day getting mitigated. From here, we got a great confluence close to 3-day open. That's why I wanted to see 3-day open getting mitigated to long, and then overextended range below us on the higher time frame that I used for my short. So we were rather well there, and as you can see, it's been a while that we didn't sweep any internal low or internal high. Internal low inside of this range. So that was a confluence for me to go short. So now I based my trade really most of the low time frame power of 3. So going into 9:30 open right there. The first thing we do is we go down. During our way down, we had a 90-minute high end at the low, so we got sequential SMT with this low, which will favor an expansion higher from 9:30, but we didn't form any type of lower time frame sequential SMT, so I didn't want to long of that. Price displays higher, mitigate through micro session open. We lack cracking correlation at the high there and high of the day, so this just had probabilities to our external joint liquidity. Price will drop lower using this 1 minute CB. We will drop lower, mitigate through micro session open again. During our way down, what we do here, we form microcycle between we form microcycle anyway, and we also had a new week opening gap we were exactly at the midpoint of a new week opening gap that we mitigate. So this was our POI using my checklist. This was an entry that I called on the live this morning. I didn't took it since I wasn't super long-sided at the present moment. And we formed this SMTF that price used to send price higher, and we ending up mitigating half day. After mitigating half day, price continued to go higher. We continues way up. And something some people don't take into account is that even though it's theory, I use ICT concept, and based on ICT concept, this was something I used to frame my short. Alright, this was a confluence I used to frame my short. So this is the midpoint of previous week's premium wicks. I used this as a POI and was expecting the high of day to be made around this. But what really confirmed the high of day being made there is quality, and that's exactly what I will talk about there. So price, I'll just replay a bit. So lunch opened. At lunch, we open a new daily cycle range. So NQ will ending up mitigating the daily cycle high right there. So we will install a daily cycle at the highs. Following this daily cycle, we will have 90-minute and micro later on. So we have 3 stages at the highs. Don't really care about it, but we have 3 stages at the highs. All right, just take that in count. Price will accumulate there, and then at which time? 1 p.m. 1 p.m. open. First thing we do, manipulate into our POI. That for me indicate that my lower time frame power of 3 is aligned with the overall narrative of my daily power of 3. So we will watch this carefully. And what I do to take my short, pretty simple. We had proper cracking correlation following the sequential SMT we had at the highs. I wait a bit because price was ranging there, so I didn't want to enter it for nothing. And my entry was exactly there. So we ending up forming the micro. So on this candle, YM took out the micro high. So this for me was the last signature we need in price to see before dumping lower. Because if NQ was to go higher, we will remove every type of sequential we had at the highs. And I know price was most likely going to make his high of day there. So knowing that, I just took the next 1 minute CSD, following my checklist, obviously. So we had the only thing we didn't have which made the trade a bit lower probability was the daily smart money reversal, because I trade the daily smart money reversal there, but I was super confident trading that, so I didn't really care about it, but that's still lower probability. We had our John liquidity. I was targeting our structure-based POI in discount, so I was targeting this structure-based POI, and finally EQ of the range, which was approximately there, around there, right? Was like 114. I don't remember. We'll see, alright? Anyway, you can see the review. You can see that I actually took the trade on the Discord and whatever. So take this 1 minute CSD there. Put my stop at the internal high. We got the proper cracking correlation for me to take my entry. We got our lower time frame power of 3, that line being 1 p.m. open, and then price will start to drop. Placing break even once we mitigate the true micro session open, because price was choppy and I didn't want to stay in that choppy price. Exactly like that. And then price run lower. So I took my first partial of this low because it was a significant low. This low, because 90 minute, we formed 90 minute at the lows. Once we remove 90 minute, we continue to dump. Second partial was at the second structure based POI, which was there, and then my last TP was exactly there. I mean, I TP'd there, but last TP should have been there, which, as you can see, is perfectly the lower quadrant of the premium wick of the weekly, the lower quadrant of the previous week premium wick, and we rejected perfectly from error, and the next is right now. So at the end, this is how I frame my lower time frame power of T with my higher time frame power of T, and that's exactly how you can anticipate high of day or low of day to be made. You need to look at your higher time frame structure based POI, and once one get mitigated, if we get proper cracking correlation using quality theory, you can frame your trade, and that's exactly how I caught around 200 points trade in PM session, and I even called the long there using my model, how just aligning my lower time frame power of T with my higher time frame expectation. So if you guys want a free checklist or PDF about power of T, just join the Discord. Everything is in the description. Everything is free. If you want to trade with me live, everything is also in the description, and I hope you guys took something out of it. If you have any comment or question, you can just join the free Discord and ask me. I will respond completely for free. I don't really care about it. But now you guys know how I caught the high of the day following 200 points. Take care and see ya.